to the unit aims. So obviously the subject name is managing quality, and the unit aim is that it examines the role of quality management plays in enhancing quality across all functional areas of a business. So we're going to see that how we as a company, as an organization, as a manager, how we have to take care of quality and how we have to integrate it as one in all the parts of the organization and all the departments. It also covers how administration plays an integral part in activities which lead to continuous quality enhancement in business organizations. So we also, like we discussed that chapter, fundamentals of administrative managers. So obviously it's linked to that as well, that how they play an important part in the enhancement of quality in any organization. Then we have learners who aspire to positions in quality management will develop a fundamental knowledge, understanding, and analytical skills necessary for such jobs as roles. So obviously, when you're going to be studying this, you'll be able to, better understand how organizations work and how quality should be maintained in any organization. Okay, so unit level is 4, unit code. Okay, so hours and all that stuff. Then we have assessment guidance. To achieve this unit, learners must achieve the learning outcomes and meet the standards specified by the assessment criteria for the unit. Additional assessment guidance is provided by the, our sample assignment brief, which we always have at the end. The unit can be approached from a theoretical perspective. However, application of approaches to quality management in the learner's place of work or other organization that has been researched are important in demonstrating achievement of the standards. So obviously, your assignments are theoretical based, but if you're currently working in an organization, or maybe you have done an internship in an organization, and maybe you could relate your question, your answers to that, so that would also help you to gain extra marks. Then we have our units. So unit 1, we'll understand the activities that make up quality management. Then under that, we have subtopics that are identify the main approaches organization use to manage quality, then explain how organizations benefit from continuous improvement. Obviously, a organization can't do this, that it improves something, like, for example, something's wrong, and you improve that thing, or you work on it, and then you leave it for like 5 years. So you can't do that. An organization has to improve itself continuously. It is like an ongoing process. It never stops. Then we'll analyze the differences between compliance and ownership-based approaches to achieving quality. So these are like 2 types. Then explain the benefits of adopting a holistic approach to quality management. So over here, we'll complete our unit 1. Obviously, we aren't going to be doing that today. We'll be starting unit 2 today, and that is to understand how quality management supports performance in organizations. And under that, we're going to be discussing about explain how quality management supports performance in organizations, evaluate the main approaches to performance evaluation used, and examine the role of quality management in meeting customer needs. So obviously, we're going to see that how they support the people in the organization. So for example, if we're improving something, is it like affecting the employees, the team, the managers? No. And we're going to be discussing the main approaches as well. Then we're going to be discussing that the end customer. So is quality affecting that our customers? Is it like positive? Is it negative? Does it have a big role or not? Then we'll understand the role of administration plays in managing quality, and explain the role of administrator in supporting the management of quality in organizations, and analyze the role of administrative systems in the effective management of quality. So we have already done fundamentals of administrative, so it's related to that. So this is your course outline. Okay, so obviously you know that whatever we're going to be doing our assignments, so obviously you need to look at these verbs, and that way you're going to be it will help you to generate your answers. So today we're going to be talking about what quality management is and how it supports performance in different organizations. So any idea what is quality? You might wanna um, give in some idea about what you
Quality is basically like how the how the product is like actually made,
Mm. Or
like it's raw
yeah,
m- materials, and like it's like a quality control
hmm.
level, and
Yeah, yeah. So you're right. So basically, when people use the word quality, so it normally is used as a synonym for good. So we say that we normally like use words like I bought these shoes from this a specific brand and the quality is good. So we use the word quality and good as a synonym. So sometimes brands use words like high quality or superior quality. However, without even like really defining that what are the characteristics of quality. So, as you can see on the slide, the characteristics can be reliable, that whatever product you have made, that is a reliable product. It is serviceable, that it is able to give the customer service. For example, if I'm wearing my shoes, they are giving a service to me. Then we have conform, that they are in conformance with the ISO standards that have been defined internationally. And then we have durable, that they are long lasting. So this is what quality is. But quality is so much more than describing a product or a service as good. Quality can be defined broadly into three categories that I think I have mentioned on. Okay, so yeah. So providing products or service features that customers need or require. So anything that the customer requires. Then we have designing features that are free from deficiencies and errors. So obviously it's going to be a good product and it does not have any defects in it, and ensuring ongoing continuous improvement, and because the company needs to find the root cause of the defect in the processes, and then it has to make its product. So here's the slide about quality, that what it really is. So we could see quality management is the act of overseeing all activities and tasks that must be accomplished to maintain a desired level of excellence. So, quality we have discussed. Now we're discussing quality management, that you have to oversee all the activities that are going on in an organization while making a product. This includes the determination of quality policy, creating and implementing quality planning and assurance, and quality control, like you mentioned, and quality improvement. So, this is how quality management works. Then it talks about quality is critical to satisfying your customers and retaining their loyalty so they continue to buy from you in the future. Obviously, if you're going to be providing good quality products, customers are going to be loyal to you and Your customer, you're able to, have customer retention, and customers come back to you to buy more. Quality products make an important contribution to long-term revenue and profitability. They also enable you to charge and maintain higher prices. So, for example, if we take the example of shoes, so like Nike is a really, famous brand, and like, what's the difference? Like, for example, we're buying shoes from a local market, or we buy shoes from Nike. It's like the same thing. Like, shoes are shoes, right? You need them to walk, or run, or whatever. But why does Nike have this competitive advantage that it can charge higher prices? Due to its quality, due to its quality assurance, its quality control, its quality improvement, all of these things. Due to its quality management, it is able to have a competitive advantage, and it is able to charge higher prices for its shoes. So this is the overall idea about quality. So is it clear till here? Are there any questions?
Yes, it is clear.
Okay, great. So here are our learning objectives. Like, we're going to be talking about the principles and concept of quality. Then we will define who is responsible for quality, like the quality management team in an organization. Then we have to examine how quality can impact any organization. So, like, what would be the effects of quality management, and what would be the outcomes? Now we have the guidelines for quality management. Okay. So, the main aim of quality management is to ensure that all the organization stakeholders work together. So, we already discussed what stakeholders are in our previous, lectures. They can be your customers, your suppliers. So, anyone that is directly or indirectly related to the company. So they work together to improve the company's processes, products, services, and the culture to achieve long term success. And this is how customer satisfaction is gained. So, if all of the stakeholders are working together in harmony, so obviously the customers will be satisfied with your products, with your services, and they will it will help you or a company to achieve customer retention. So the process of quality management involves a collection of guidelines. So the first one is the organization sets quality targets to be met. So obviously you have to set certain standards that have to be achieved by an organization. Then the organization then defines how the target will be measured. So it can be in the form of sales, like how much you are selling your shoes, or it could be you could measure if you if you have a shoe business, and you could measure the quality by if there's a thread coming out, or if the color is not proper, or there's different ways of measuring your targets and measuring quality. Then we have the final step involves reporting the overall level of the quality achieved. So obviously you have to report to your upper team or managers for further help or for their approval. Then quality improvement methods, and it comprises of three components. So the first one is product improvement. So which means to improve the product quality. Like, with time, you are going to be improving the product's quality. Maybe you had only like two colors for your shoes, white and black. Now you have blue, brown, yellow, orange, whatever. the customer requires, or you only had shoes which had a thin sole. Now you're producing shoes with thick soles as well, so you're improving your product with time. Then we have process improvement. So this means that you are improving the processes that are involved in the business. So for example, first it was um, your machines, you've been using your machines for like 5 years, now they're becoming outdated. So obviously you need to buy new machines, you need to hire new employees, you need to have a creative team who could help you, to improve your processes in your organization. So obviously you have to work on your process improvement as well. And then we have people based improvement. This means that you have to train your employees side by side, so your errors are reduced. This is how, quality improvement has three components, which are the main ones and really important ones. So there are like numerous methods of quality management as well, and techniques that can be utilized. Like they could include Kaizen, zero defect programs, Six Sigma, quality circle, the total production system that is known as TPS, and we'll be discussing these in the further slides. So Kaizen. So we have been discussing again and again about what is Kaizen. No, sorry, we've been discussing about, like, we've been coming across this word again and again: continuous improvement, continuous improvement. We also discussed it in your course outline. So this is, I think it's a Japanese word, and Kaizen means to, change good. So obviously you're improving for the betterment. So this is a way that many organizations use to improve, their products or services. Then we come towards Six Sigma. This is also a way that is used. Obviously we're just going to be not going into depth, because these are pretty, what do you call them, these are like pretty difficult, and these are mostly done by engineers. The main
Mhm.
thing, the main, the calculations and everything, that is mainly done by the engineers. So as business students, we just need to know what they are and where we need to apply these. So in Six Sigma, you can see we will have to, define the problem, like whatever problem is coming in your product. Then we have to measure that, we have to analyze, we need to improve, and we need to control that problem. So it is like a proper, process, a cycle that is going on. You could see it is a DMAIC. So D for define, M for measure, A for analyze, and so on. Then we also have quality circle. This is also a way to improve your quality. So you could see, first you will plan, then you will do, then you will check, and then you will act. So obviously you're going to be planning out something that, okay, uh, we are, behind in, for example, there's a problem in the shoe, so we're behind in that quality area. Now we have to plan that, then we have to do or implement on that, then we have to check that okay, uh the the decision that we made, is it like worth it, is it working, is it appropriate for this or not, and then we act upon it on a larger scale. Then we have TPS. So for example, this was made due by the company Toyota. So the car Toyota, they made this, theory, and they talked about how we could achieve the highest quality, how we could lower our cost, how we can get the shortest lead time. So lead time means, like, for example, if you're making a product from the start of the product to making from the delivery to the customer. So for example, if it takes 3 months, 4 months, obviously cars are big products, so it takes much more time. in that. But obviously, for if you want to deliver, shoes to a customer, obviously it's going to be taking like 3 to 4 working days. So obviously every product has different lead time. Then we have empowered employees. Obviously, if your employees are empowered, they're going to be creative, their productivity will increase. Then we have best safety. Obviously, we have to take care of our employees as well. We have to give them a safe environment. Then we have high morale. Obviously, if you're providing them safety, you're providing them with bonuses, commissions, they're going to be highly motivated. Then TPS has two different, types in it. The first one is just in time, and the other is Jidoka. So over just in time, you can understand by the word that you provide everything. What happens that over here, companies don't really, keep inventory. They don't really use, they use warehouses, but they don't fill them up. Like they don't fill them up like 6 months before. Whenever a order will come to you, only then you will ask your supplier to send in the products, and you will manufacture, and then you will send to your customers. So this is just in time. And Judoka means that you are working on your quality side by side. So you're improving your, as we discussed, continuous improvement. So you're trying to reduce your errors, and you're trying to, reduce your waste in an organization that is reduced. So this is a little idea about what TPS really is. Then this Kanban. So Kanban is also another way to, for quality management. So what happens is that Toyota also implements Kanban system as well. So, Kanban is like a workflow management method for defining, managing, and improving services. As we can see, it says that Kanban is Japanese for sign is an inventory control system used in just-in-time manufacturing to track production and order new shipments of parts and materials. And Kanban was developed by Taiichi Ohono. That was obviously the CEO of Toyota who came up with the idea, an industrial engineer at Toyota, and uses visual cues to promote the action needed to keep the process flowing. So obviously you don't need to explain these, but you need to know that what are like the different ways that can help a organization to improve the quality or manage the quality.
Okay.
So then we have, so the main aim to like help organization is to like visualize the work, maximize efficiency, and improve continuously, such as TQM. So have you heard about TQM, total quality management? Have you ever heard about that? So we're going to be discussing it further as well. So right now we are going to be taking example of Toyota, and Toyota used this idea to implement its just-in-time inventory process. So why did it implement this? To make its assembly line like more efficient, and the company decided to keep just enough inventory on hand to fill customers' orders as they were generated. So for example, the customers made a demand for like maybe 1,000 cars. So that only at that time Toyota, what happened that Toyota referred to its suppliers, asked for the raw materials, the raw materials were delivered to the company. They were manufactured, or not manufactured, sorry, assembled there, and then they were given to the customers. So this way, what happens is that when you don't keep inventory in your warehouses, your cost will be lowered. You won't have extra cost. So Toyota adopted lean and agile practices at the same time, And this has been done efficiently by, having good relationships with its suppliers and having like favorable contracts. So obviously, if you're a company and you want to lower your cost, your transportation cost, your warehousing cost, your extra expenses, holding cost, storage cost. So what you need to do, you need to follow JIT, just in time, and you need to have really 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 good relationships with your suppliers, so you can count on them when when the orders are generated, or even while the pandemic. Obviously Toyota had good relations with the suppliers, and that is why it was able to sustain its organization. So this is how quality management works. Obviously, it's internal as well, like we were discussing before, and it is also external, that you have good relationships with your suppliers. Then we come towards the benefits of quality management. Like obviously, we're doing quality management, we're implementing it in our organization, but like, what are the main benefits? Like, what's the use of it? So it helps an organization achieve greater consistency in tasks and activities that are involved in the production of products and services. So, this is the same example that we discussed about Toyota, that it is able to assemble its parts and send out the orders to its customers in time. Then it says it increases efficiency in processes, reduces wastage, and improves the use of time and other resources. So obviously what you're going to do is that if you're maintaining quality, you're having quality checks, you're having quality control, so obviously you'll be able to reduce your wastage, you'll be able to improve the use of your time, you will save time, and then you can use the time somewhere else maybe. Then we have, it helps improve customer satisfaction. Obviously, if you have good quality products, your customers will be satisfied. Then we have, it enables businesses to market their business effectively and exploit new markets. So obviously, if you're known for your quality, like we were talking about Nike, so obviously you'll be able to exploit markets. You'll be able to charge higher prices. You'll be able to have a greater market share. You'll be able to have, a greater revenue, greater profits than other competitors. Then it makes it easier for businesses to integrate new employees, and thus helps businesses manage growth more seamlessly. So it makes easier for them to, if you have a well-known company, obviously people, students from big universities are going to come, and they will want to work in your company. So obviously you'll have more creativity, you'll have more diversity, and this way the company can further grow more seamlessly. Seamlessly means like smoothly. Then we have, it enables a business to continuously improve their products, processes, and systems. So this is the same thing that we discussed previously over here, that you're going to be improving your products, your processes, and your systems. So these are all the benefits of quality management. Is it clear till here? Are there any questions?
Yeah, it is clear.
Okay, great. Then we have a few principles about quality management. So, like, quality management is, in businesses, it's like really vital to ensure consistency in its processes, as well as as well as in its products and services. So in business, customer satisfaction is the key. We have been studying this again and again. So obviously we need to focus on the, we need to focus, the main principle would be customer focus. So we need to focus on our customers And we need to see that what will satisfy them as customers. As a customer's main concern is the quality of the products or services they purchase, the supplier's main goal should always be to ensure that what they produce is of consistent and fine quality. So, obviously, as a manager, you have to ensure that you're producing the right quality of a product, fine quality. Obviously, you then will come towards the second principle, that is leadership. You as a manager will engage the people and your employees, and they're going to be working on whatever the customer desires. Then we obviously know that the product or the quality of the product is good. Then obviously the customer is satisfied, and we're going to be having customer retention, and that means that we'll be having more sales, and in return the company will make more profits, which is obviously the main objective of a company. So quality is a continuous race to improvement with no finish line. So obviously it's a never ending process. So for example, if we come towards the fourth point, that is process approach. So we discussed in this slide as well the process improvement. So we need to improve our processes. Then obviously because of that we will have to continuously improve our products, our services. And then we have evidence based approach, means that whatever we have done, we're going to be obviously you're not going to close down your business, it's still going to be going on. So then you're going to be comparing that, okay, we started this approach 6 months ago, and now 6 months after we're going to be seeing the evidence that, okay, have our sales increased, has our customers been more loyal. So you're going to be comparing the evidence of the first, when you started the improvement, or the approach, and then you're going to be seeing the results after. So it can be between 3 months, between 6 months, between a year, 5 years, and so on. Then we have relationship management. So obviously relationship management we discussed was related to the supplier, that we need to have good relationships with our suppliers. And obviously if you have, it's like a long process, it's like a chain. So if you have good relationships with your supplier, then you're going to be having good relationships with your customers as well. So it's going to be suppliers, the company, and the customers. So these are like the principles of quality management, that how everything is linked together. Then we have during the past decades, quality improvement has become a very vital part of an organization for achieving competitive advantage. So we discussed this in the first few slides as well, the example of Nike. So having good quality can help a company expand in the global market, even with a high price like Nike. We've discussed this before as well. And we buy Nike shoes and accessories, even though like they're quite expensive, but we are willing to buy it because of the superior quality it has over other brands. So this is why quality management is important, because you could do you could expand, you could grow your company just because of having good quality, and you could charge really high prices. So this is like one of the most important and the biggest advantage of quality management. Then coming towards TQM. So it is like a continual process of detecting and reducing or eliminating errors in manufacturing, streamlining supply chain management, improving the customer experience, and ensuring that employees are up to speed with training. So, like how TQM works is that its main focus is to reduce, errors, and, streamline the supply chain and improve the customer experience. And obviously, how we're going to do that? We're going to do that by improving our processes and training our employees. So it says that how did TQM like come about. So like how it started. So it was during the time that Japan faced with like harsh industrial economic environment, and its citizens were thought to be illiterate, and the products were known to be of low quality. So key businesses in Japan, like the big companies, they saw these deficiencies and they said that we want to make a change. So, relying on pioneers in statistical thinking, companies such as Toyota integrated the idea of quality management and quality control into their production processes. So, thanks to Toyota, that we got TQM and we got other, quality management approaches. Then it says that by the end of 1960s, Japan completely flipped its narrative and became known as one of the most efficient export countries with some of the most admired products. So, firstly, Japan was known as the country with low quality products, but everything flipped and it became one of the countries with the highest product quality. Effective quality management resulted in better products that could be used at cheaper prices. So you could see that how a country from producing to it changed its narrative from like producing low quality products to high quality products. So obviously it worked on its processes, it worked on its products, it worked on its people, that how we need to train them, and obviously it also worked on the technology, on the automation. So this is how TQM came about. So the main assumption for TQM is that the employees in the organization, they must cooperate with each other to achieve the quality that the customer requires. So obviously you need to have good harmony in the organization as well to achieve good quality. It does not only consist of having good quality tools and good organizational techniques. It is a philosophy, it is a mixture of certain values and beliefs that are shared by all the organizational members. So here's a table that is showing the principles of TQM, and it is all summarized, and it can help you in remembering like what TQM is and why is it important. And as we have studied above, the philosophy is to like reduce waste and like continuously improve and streamline the processes. Then we have leadership. It is like normally from like top to bottom. The quality can be measured through different costs involved in the process. Then we have scope, means that everyone involved from start of the supply chain to the end of the supply chain, and the methods include like simple techniques which can be implemented by the team members in the organization. So the ultimate goal of the team approach is to get everyone, like including your contractors, your designers, your vendors, your subcontractors, your owners, all involved in the TQM process. And we need to be in contact with everyone who are involved in our supply chain from start till the end. So like we discussed in the first few slides, that all the stakeholders have to work together to achieve the best quality. Like supply chain, we're talking about that word again and again. So supply chain is like a system of like organizations, people, activities, business activities, information, finance, resources, all that are involved in supplying a product to a customer. So that is how a supply chain normally works. So is it clear till here?
Yeah.
Okay. And then we have the 4 components of TQM. The first one you can see is customer satisfaction, employee involvement. Then we have managerial leadership and process improvement and control. So obviously we have been discussing these things again and again. So I don't think we need to discuss these further. We'll just go on to the next slide. So like have you like ever heard of these like quality management standards, like different products have them on
Yeah,
ISO 9000, ISO
a little
different.
bit. Yeah.
Yeah. So these are the quality standards that different companies use. So ISO 9001 ensures that customers get consistent good quality products and services. So this one is for good quality products, for these are like certifications that are really important for any company, as they are globally recognized achievement, and they can help any company to raise their international profile and increase businesses overseas. So obviously if I'm sorry. So obviously if you have you are recognized by ISO, so like it's a really huge deal. So these are a few features about it, the scope of ISO, normative statement, terms, definitions, context of organization, leadership, planning, support, operation, performance. You don't need to know these things. This is just to explain that what basically ISO is. Then these certifications help businesses to achieve benefits, obviously. So obviously the greatest benefit is that you have like greater efficiency and there is less waste. Then we could also talk about that it gives better and consistent control to the business. Then it also talks about that we have better understanding of customer needs. We obviously have increased customer satisfaction. We have improved participation from the employees and obviously from the customers as well. Because obviously, when a customer sees that, okay, this product is approved by ISO, then obviously they want to buy that product. Then, due to ISO, obviously, you're going to have better internal communication, because obviously your employees are also, they're like motivated and their morale is high. Then we have, ISO could help you provide differentiation for your business. You could have competitive advantage. You could also, ISO could also lead to, increased benefits and increase profits, and it also helps you to reduce your errors. So these are like a few advantages for ISO. Then coming to us next slide. So here are a few strategies which can help a company to improve their quality management. So the first one is a company needs to have like a proper culture in the organization which emphasizes on the quality improvement. So you need to establish a workplace culture that stresses on quality improvement in a great way to keep quality management at the forefront of employees' minds. So obviously, when employees are joining into your business or whatever, so you need to tell them, okay, that quality is the basic thing in our organization. You have to work on quality. You cannot compromise on it. So obviously, uh, if a company wants to achieve quality management, it has to have a proper culture. We secondly, designing a robust training program can help you improving the overall quality and processes which are, uh, you know, uh, implemented in an organization. So obviously, you as managers, you will help to, come up with a training program. So obviously, when the employees are working, on the field, so they are not making any errors or mistakes. Then we have the company needs to develop a proper quality inspection program. So, or it can have a quality assurance department, which will obviously help to ensure that the product is ready to be delivered to the next stop, whether a customer or sometimes even businesses. Sometimes you also make products for other businesses. So, like, it's a B2B business. So obviously, if I have a farm and I'm growing wheat over there, then obviously a bakery would come to me for flour, and that would be a B2B business, because a business is buying from another business. So obviously you need to have quality inspection programs for checking that whatever, for example, if I'm delivering them wheat, so they need to, I need to check as well that if the wheat is, is it clean, if it doesn't have any termites in it or so on. And obviously the other company also has to have proper quality inspection programs for them as well. Then we have companies should also ensure that the equipment is maintained properly and there is employee safety while working at dangerous jobs. Like if there are coal mines, you need to like provide the employees with proper headgear, proper clothing, proper tools, and proper equipment. So these are like a few ways that you could improve your quality management. So this is all for today. And are there any questions that you might want to ask in this?
Um, no, they're not. But
So,
no, yeah,
hmm,
I don't have any questions and all.
okay, that's a good thing.